We're hats on.
And now, the Village Playbox proudly presents Harvey. We hope you enjoy the show.
Dow residence, Mrs. Simmons. Mrs. Simmons is my mother, but she has a guest this afternoon. Who wants her? Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on just 1 minute. Psst, Mother! Psst, Mother!
Yes, dear?
Telephone.
Oh, no, dear, not with all of them in there. Say I'm busy.
Mother! It's the society editor of the evening newspaper.
Oh, the society editor. She's very important. Good afternoon, Miss Ellaby. This is Vita Simmons. Oh, yes, a tea and reception for the members of the Wednesday Forum. Oh, you might say a program tea. My mother, you know, the late Marcella Pinney Dowd, a pioneer cultural leader. She came here by Ox Team as a child, and she created the Wednesday Forum. Oh, Myrtle, how many would you say?
75 at least. Say 100.
75. Oh, Miss Tewksbury is a soloist, accompanied by Wilden McCurdy, accompanist.
Come on, Miss Tewksbury's almost finished with her number.
Oh, she'll do an encore.
What if they don't give her a lot of applause?
I've known her for years. She'll do an encore. Oh, you might say that I'm entertaining, assisted by my daughter, Miss Myrtle May Simmons. Oh, what color would you call that?
Rancho Rose, they told me?
Miss Myrtle May Simmons looked charming in a modish Rancho Rose-toned crepe, picked up at the girdle with a touch of magenta on emerald. Oh, I wish you could see her, Miss Ellaby.
Mother, come on, she's almost finished. And where's the cateress?
Everything is ready. The minute she's finished singing, we open the doors and we begin pouring. The parlors and the halls are festooned with smilax. Yes, festooned. That's right. Yes, Miss Ellaby, this is the first party we've given in years. There's a reason, but I don't want it in the papers. We all have our troubles, Miss Ellaby. Oh, the guest list? Oh, yes.
Mother, come.
Oh, well, if you'll excuse me right now, Miss Ellaby, I will call you later.
Mother? Mrs. Chauvenet just came in.
Mrs. Eugene Chauvenet Sr. Oh, her father was a scout with Buffalo Bill.
Oh, so that's where she got that hat.
Myrtle May, you must be nice to Mrs. Chauvenet. She has a grandson about your age.
But what difference will it make with Uncle Elwood?
Now, Myrtle May, remember we agreed not to talk about that this afternoon. The point of this whole party is to get you started. We work through the older women to the younger group.
But we can't have anyone here in the evenings, and that's when men come to see you, in the evenings. The only reason we can have a party this afternoon is because Uncle Elwood is playing pinochle at the 4th Avenue Firehouse. Thank God for the firehouse.
I know, but they'll just have to invite you out, and it won't hurt them one bit. Oh, Myrtle May, you have got so much to offer. I don't care what anybody says. There's something sweet about every young girl. And then a man takes that sweetness and look what he does with it. But you have got to meet somebody, Myrtle May. That's all there is to it.
If I do, they say that's Myrtle May Simmons. Her uncle is Elwood P. Dowd, the biggest screwball in town. Elwood P. Dowd and his gal.
Oh! You promised.
All right, let's get them into the dining room.
Now, when the members come in here and you make your little welcome speech on behalf of your grandmother, be sure to do this.
And then I'll mention my Uncle Elwood and say a few words about his pal Harvey. Damn Harvey!
Oh, Myrtle May, that's right. Let all the members of the Wednesday Forum hear you. You said that name. You promised you wouldn't say that name, and you said it.
Harvey to everybody.
Well, that is very unkind of you, Myrtle May. Elwood is the biggest heartache I have, but even if people do call him peculiar, he's still my brother. And he won't be home this afternoon.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure.
Oh, but Mother, why can't we live like other people?
Must I remind you again, Elwood is not living with us. We are living with Elwood.
Him and Harvey. Did Grandmother know about Harvey?
I wondered that myself. If she did, she never wrote me about it.
Why did she have to leave all her property to him anyway?
Well, I suppose it's because she died in his arms. People are sentimental about that sort of thing.
You always say that, but it doesn't make sense. She couldn't have made out her will after she died, could she?
Oh, don't be didactic, Myrtle May. It is not becoming a young girl, and men detest it. Now, don't forget to wave your hand.
I'll do my best.
Oh, dear. Miss Tewksbury's voice is certainly fading. Oh.
But not fast enough.
Lovely, Miss Tewksbury. Perfectly lovely. I loved it.
Oh, excuse me. I have to answer the phone. Make yourself at home, Harvey. Hello? Oh, you have the wrong number. But how are you anyway? This is Elwood P. Dowd speaking. I'll do? Well, thank you. And what is your name, my dear? Harvey, it's Miss Elsie Greenewalt. And how are you today, Miss Greenewalt? That's fine. Yes, dear, I'll join your club. I belong to several clubs now. The University Club, the Country Club, the Pinochle Club down at the 4th Street Firehouse. I spend quite a bit of my time there. Or Charlie's Place, or Eddie's Bar. And what is your club, Miss Greenwald? Harvey. I get Ladies' Home Journal, Good Housekeeping, and The Overroad for Boys for 2 years for $6.25. That sounds just fine, Miss Greenwald. I'll join. Well, how does it sound to you, Harvey? Hmm? Oh, Harvey says it sounds just fine to him also. He'll join too. Yes, 2 subscriptions. Mail everything to this address. I do hope I'll have the opportunity to meet you sometime. Harvey, she says she'd like to meet me. When? When would you like to meet me, Miss Greenwald? Well, why not right now? My sister seems to be having a few friends in, and we'd be honored if you join us. My sister will be delighted. 343 Temple Drive. I'll see you in a few minutes. Goodbye. She's coming right over. Harvey, don't you think we should freshen up? What? Oh, yes, so do I.
I cannot seem to remember where I put that guest list, and I must read it to Miss Ellerby. Have you seen it, Miss Johnson?
No, I haven't, Mrs. Simmons.
Look at my dresser.
Mother, Mrs. Chauvenet is looking for you. Here she is, Mrs. Chauvenet. Here's Mother.
Vita Louise Simmons. I thought you were dead.
Oh, Aunt Ethel. Oh, no, I'm very much alive. Thank you.
And this full-grown girl is your daughter? I've known you since you were a baby.
I know.
What's your name, dear?
Aunt Ethel, this is Myrtle May, for the 2 sisters of her father. Oh, he's dead, that's what confused you.
Where's Elwood?
Elwood couldn't be here today. Now, may I get you some tea?
Elwood's not here.
No.
Well, shame on him. That's the main reason I came. I want to see Elwood.
Oh, why, Aunt Ethel, there are so many people anxious to speak to you.
Do you realize, Vita, it's been years since I've seen Elwood?
No. Where has the time gone?
I was saying to Mr. Chauvigny only the other night. What on earth do you suppose has happened to Elwood Dowd? He never comes to the club dances anymore. I haven't seen him at a horse show in years. Does Elwood see anybody these days?
Why? Yes, Aunt Ethel. Elwood sees somebody.
Oh, yes.
Your Uncle Elwood, child, is one of my favorite people. Always has been.
Yes, I remember.
Is Elwood happy, Vita?
Oh, and Uncle, yes, Elwood is very happy. You needn't worry about Elwood. Why, there is Mrs. Frank Cummings. Just come in. Don't you want to speak to her?
My, but she looks ghastly. Hasn't she failed, though?
Oh, well, if you think she looks badly, you should see him.
Oh, is that so? I must have them over. Oh, she looks frightful. I thought she was dead.
Oh, no.
Now, what about tea, Vita?
Oh, certainly. Well, if you'll excuse me, I will precede you.
Oh, Elwood, Dowd, bless your heart.
Aunt Ethel, what a pleasure it is to come into a room and find a beautiful woman waiting for me.
Oh, Elwood, you haven't changed.
Come on, Aunt Ethel, you mustn't miss the party.
There's punch if you don't like tea.
But I do like tea. Stop pulling at me. Elwood, what night next week would you like to come for dinner?
Any night at all, Aunt Ethel, I would be delighted.
Elwood, there's a mail for you today. I took it up to your room.
Did you, Nita? That was nice. Aunt Ethel, I'd like you to meet Harvey. As you can see, he's a puka. Harvey, you've heard me speak of Mrs. Chauvenet? We always call her Aunt Ethel. She's one of my closest and dearest friends. Hmm? Yes, this is she. yes, this is the one. Thank you for the great night you anywhere.
Oh,
Oh, you two look lovely. Harvey, come along. We must say hello to our friends. Excuse me, Aunt Ethel, I beg your pardon.
what?
You're standing in his way.
Oh,
Come along, Harvey. Hmm? No. Okay. Go on ahead of me, Harvey. I'll be in a minute. Aunt Ethel, I can see you are disturbed by Harvey. Please don't be. He stares like that at everybody. It's just his way. But he liked you. I could tell. He liked you very much.
oh.
Some tea, perhaps?
No, not right now. I must be running along.
But I am so sorry.
I will talk to you soon. Goodbye. Goodbye? Oh.
Oh, God! Oh, my God! Where are you going?
Up to my room. Uncle Elwood's in there introducing Harvey to everybody. I can't face those people now. I wish I were dead.
Stay with me. Come back. I'll get him out of there and upstairs to his room.
I won't. I can't.
No, Myrtle. Pretend I'm fixing your corsage. No, Myrtle. We have to. Yeah, pretend we're having a gay little chat. Now keep looking. Now, when you see him, tell me. He always comes when I call him. Now then, do you see him yet?
Not yet. How do you do, Mrs. Cummings?
Smile, can't you? Have you no pride? I'm smiling, and he's my own brother.
Oh, Mother. People get run over by trucks every day. Why can't something like that happen to Uncle Elwood?
Oh, Miss Simmons, I am ashamed of you. This thing is not your uncle's fault.
Ow! You're sticking me with the pin.
That's Miss Ellaby. Now keep looking. Keep smiling.
Miss Cummings is leaving. Uncle Elwood must have told her what Harvey is. Oh, God.
Hello, this is Mrs. Simmons. Should you come in the clothes you have on? What have you on? Who is this? But I don't know any Miss Should you what? May I ask who invited you? Mr. Dowd. Well, thank you just the same, but I believe there's been a mistake.
Never what?
One of your Uncle Elwood's friends. She asked me if she should bring a quart of gin to the Wednesday forum.
There he is. He's talking to Mrs. Halsey.
Is Harvey with him?
Uncle Elwood.
Oh, Elwood, can I see you a moment, dear? I promise you, your Uncle Elwood has disgraced us for the last time in this house. I'm going to do something I've never done before.
What did you mean just now when you said this wasn't Uncle Elwood's fault? If it's not his fault, then whose fault is it?
Never you mind, I know whose fault it is. Now, lift up your head and smile and go back in there as if nothing has happened.
You're no match for Uncle Elwood.
You'll see.
Mother's waiting for you.
Oh, Elwood, could I see you for a moment, dear?
Of course, Vita. Excuse me, Harvey.
Elwood, would you mind sitting down in here and waiting for me until the party's over? I want to talk to you. It's very important.
Of course, sister. Happy to have some free time, and you're welcome to all of it, Vita. Oh, do you want Harvey to wait too?
Yes, Elwood, I certainly do.
Jane Austen. Oh, sit down, Harvey. Vita wants to talk to us. She says it's important. I'll bet she wants to congratulate us on the impression we made at her party. Oh, Jane Austen. Deluxe Edition Limited. Oh, Grosset and Dunlop. The usual acknowledgments. Chapter 1.
Mrs. O.R. Simmons, 343 Temple Drive. Is that right?
We were born and raised there. It's old, but we love it. It's our home.
And you wish to enter your brother here at the sanitarium for treatment. Your brother's name? Mrs. Simmons, what is your brother's name?
I'm sorry. Life is not easy for any of us. But I have to hold my head up and go on just the same. That's what I tell Myrtle, and that's what Myrtle May keeps telling me. She is heartbroken about her Uncle Elwood. Elwood P. Dow, that's it.
Elwood P. Dowd. His age?
47, the 24th of last April. He's Taurus. Taurus, the bull. I'm Leo, and Myrtle's on the cusp.
Okay, 47. Is he married?
Oh, no. Elwood is never married. He stayed home with Mother. He was always a great home boy. He loved his home.
And you have him here with you now?
Oh, he's in a taxi cab out in the driveway. Oh, I gave the driver $1 to watch him, but I didn't tell him why. Can't tell this sort of thing to perfect strangers.
Mr. Wilson, would you please step down to a taxi in the driveway and ask a Mr. Dowd if he would be good enough to step up to room number 24, South Wing G.
Ask him?
This is his sister, Mrs. Simmons.
Why, certainly. Be glad to escort him.
Thank you.
Thank you. The rates here, Mrs. Simmons, you'll find them printed on this card.
That will all be taken care of by my mother's estate. The late Marcella Kitty Dowd. Judge Gaffney is our attorney.
Now we'll see if Dr. Sanderson can see you.
Dr. Sanderson? But I want to see Dr. Chumley himself.
Oh, Mrs. Simmons, Dr. Sanderson is the one who sees everyone. Dr. Chumley sees no one.
Well, he's still in charge of this institution, isn't he? He's still a psychiatrist, isn't he?
Still a psychiatrist? Dr. Chumley is more than that. He's a psychiatrist with a national reputation. Whenever people have mental breakdowns, they once think of Dr. Chumley.
Well, that's his office, isn't it? Well, I want you to march right in there and tell him I want to see him. If he knows who's in here, he'll come out here.
I wouldn't dare disturb him, Mrs. Simmons. I would be discharged if I did.
I don't like to be pushed off into any second fiddle.
Dr. Sanderson is no one's second fiddle. He's young, of course, and he hasn't been out of medical school long, but Dr. Chumley tried out 12 and kept Dr. Sanderson. He's really wonderful. To the patients.
Very well. Tell him I'm here.
Right away.
Oh, dear, dear, dear.
Oh, Vita, oh, isn't this wonderful? Whoa!
Mrs. Simmons.
Oh my goodness. I didn't hear you come in. You startled me. You're Dr. Sanderson?
Yes. Please be seated.
Oh, thank you. I hope you don't think I'm jumping like this all the time.
Of course not. Miss Kelly tells me you're concerned about your brother, Dowd. Is it Elwood P. Dowd?
Yes, Doctor. Is it easy for me, Doctor?
Naturally, these things aren't easy for the families of the patients. I understand.
It's what Elwood's doing to himself, Doctor. That's the thing. Myrtle May has the right to nice friends. She's young and her whole life is ahead of her. Oh, that's my daughter.
Your daughter. How long has it been since you began to notice any peculiarities in your brother's actions?
Well, I noticed it right away when Mother died and Myrtle May and I came back home from Des Moines to live with Elwood. I could see that he...
That he what? Take your time, Mrs. Simmons. Don't strain. Let it come. I'll wait.
Doctor, everything I say to you is confidential, isn't it?
That is understood.
Because it is a slap in the face to everything we've meant in this community, the way Elwood's been acting now.
I am not a gossip, Mrs. Simmons. I'm a psychiatrist.
Well, for one thing, he drinks
To excess?
to excess. Well, don't you call it excess when a man never lets a day go by without walking into one of those cheap taverns, sitting around with riffraff and people you've never heard of, inviting them to the house, playing cards with them, giving them food, money. Oh, and here I am just trying to get Myrtle May introduced to a nice group of young people. Well, if you don't call that excess, I'm sure I don't know what excess is.
I didn't doubt your statement, Mrs. Simmons. I merely asked if your brother drinks.
Well, I'd say yes, definitely he drinks it. And I want him taken in here permanently because I can't not stand another day of that Harvey. Myrtle May and I have to set a place at the table for Harvey. Oh, we have to move over on the sofa and make room for Harvey. We have to answer the telephone when Elwood calls and asks to speak to Harvey. And then at the party this afternoon with Mrs. Chauvenet there. Well, we never even knew anything about Harvey until we came back here. Now, Doctor, don't you think it would have been a little bit kinder of Mother if she had told us about Harvey? And now be honest, don't you?
I really couldn't answer that
Well, I
question.
can. Yes, it certainly would have.
This person you call Harvey, who is he?
He's a rabbit.
Perhaps. but just who is he? Some companion? Someone your brother picked up at one of these bars of whom you disapprove?
Doctor, I've been telling you, Harvey is a rabbit. A big white rabbit, 6 feet high. Well, he's at 6 feet and a half. Heaven knows I ought to know. He's been around the house long enough.
Now, Mrs. Simmons, let me understand.
Doctor, do I have to keep repeating myself? My brother insists that his closest friend is this big white rabbit. This rabbit is named Harvey. Harvey lives at our house, don't you understand? He and Elwood go every place together. Elwood buys railroad tickets, theater tickets for both of them. Well, as I told Myrtle May if your uncle was so lonesome he had to bring something home. Why couldn't he bring home something human? He has me, doesn't he? Oh, he has Myrtle May, doesn't he? Doctor, I am going to tell you something that I've never told anyone in the world before. Every once in a while, I see that big white rabbit myself. Isn't that terrible? Oh, I never even told that to Myrtle May.
Mrs. Simmons.
Oh, and what's more, he's every bit as big as Elwood says he is. Oh, Doctor, promise you'll never tell that to anybody. I'm ashamed of it.
I can see you've been under a great nervous strain recently.
Doctor, I certainly have.
Grief over your mother's death depressed you considerably.
Nobody knows how much.
Been losing sleep.
How could anybody sleep with that going on?
Short-tempered over trifles.
You just try living with the two of them and see how your temper holds up.
Loss of appetite.
No one can sit and eat at a table with my brother and a big white rabbit. Well, I am finished with it. I'm selling the house. I'll be named executor of Elwood's estate. And Myrtle and May and I will be able to entertain our friends in peace. Oh, it's just too much, Doctor. I just can't stand it.
Of course, Mrs. Simmons, of course it is. You're tired.
Yes, I am.
You've been worrying a great deal.
Oh, yes, I have. I can't help it.
And now I'm going to help you.
Oh, Doctor.
Just sit there quietly. I'll be right back.
I'll just go out to the cab and get Elwood's things. I'm so weak.
Why didn't anyone answer the buzzer?
I didn't hear you, Doctor.
I rang and rang. Mrs. Simmons. Sound the gong, Wilson. That poor woman must not leave the grounds.
She's made with a getaway, huh, Doc?
Her condition is serious. Go after her.
I can't believe it.
Main gate. Henry, Dr. Sanderson, do not let anyone out of the main gate. We're looking for a patient. I shouldn't have left her alone, but nobody answered the buzzer.
Wilson was in the South, Doctor.
What have we available, Kelly?
Number 13, Upper West R is available, Doctor.
Have her taken there immediately, and I will prescribe preliminary treatment. I need to get in contact with her brother. Dowd is the name. Elwood P. Dowd. Get him on the telephone. Will you please, Kelly?
But Doctor, I didn't know it was the woman who needed treatment. She said it was for her mother.
Of course she did. It's the oldest dodge in the world, used by a cunning type of psychopath. She apparently knew her brother was going to commit her, so she came out to discredit him. Get him on the telephone, please.
But, Doctor, I thought the woman was all right, so I had Wilson take the brother up to number 24, South Wing G. He's there now.
You had Wilson take the brother in. No gags, Kelly. Please tell me you're not serious.
Oh, did, Doctor? I did. Oh, Doctor, I'm terribly sorry.
Well, if you're sorry, that fixes everything.
I'll do it, Doctor. I'll do it. Miss Dunphy, will you please step up to room number 24 and give Mr. Dowd back his clothes
And ask him to step down to the office right away.
ask him to step down to the office right away. There's been a terrible mistake and Dr. Sanderson wants to explain.
Explain? Apologize.
Thank heaven she hadn't put him in the hydro tub yet. She'll let him out.
Beautiful and almost too good to be true.
Doctor, I feel terrible. I didn't know. Judge Gaffney called and said that Mrs. Simmons and her brother would be out here this afternoon, and when she came in, I thought, Well, you don't have to be sarcastic.
Oh, don't I? Stop worrying, we'll squirm out of this subway.
Where are you going?
I've got to tell the chief about this, Kelly. He may want to handle it himself.
He'll be furious. I know he will. He'll die. And then he'll terminate me.
The responsibility is all mine.
Oh, no, doctor. Tell him it was all my fault.
I never mention your name, except in my sleep.
But this man, Dowd.
Don't let him get away. I'll be right back.
But what do I say to him? What should I do? He'll be furious.
He'll probably be fit to be tied, but he's a man, isn't he?
I guess so. His name is Mr.
Go into your old routine. You know, the eyes, the swish, the works. I'm immune, but I've seen it work on some other people here, some of the patients. Keep them here, Kelly, if you have to do a striptease.
Ow! All the... Oh, you're wonderful, Dr. Sanderson. You're just about the most wonderful person I've ever met in my life.
Well, how about giving me a hand here just the same?
What?
That's Simmons' dame.
Oh, did you catch her?
Slick as a whistle. She was coming along the path, humming a little song. And I jumped out from behind a tree and I said, "Sister, there's a man who wants to see you." You should have heard her yell. She was wacky, all right.
Take her to number 13, Upper West R.
She's there now, brought into the diet kitchen. She's screaming and kicking like hell. I'll hold her if you'll come and undress her.
Just a second, Wilson. Dr. Sanderson told me to stay here until her brother comes down.
Make it snappy.
You're Mr. Dowd?
Elwood P.
I'm Miss Kelly.
Let me give you one of my cards. If you should want to call me at that number. Don't call me at that one. That's the old one.
Thank you.
I'm perfectly all right. And if you should lose it, not to worry, my dear. I have plenty more.
Won't you have a chair, please, Mr. Dowd?
Thank you. I'll have two. Allow me. Oh.
Dr. Sanderson is very anxious to speak with you. He'll be here any moment. Please, sit down.
Well, after you, my dear.
Oh, I really can't, thank you. I'm in and out all the time, but you mustn't mind me. Please, sit down.
After you.
Could I get you a magazine or something to look at while you wait, Mr. Dowd?
I'd much rather look at you, Miss Kelly, if you don't mind. You really are very lovely.
Oh, well, thank you. Some people don't seem to think so.
Well, some people are blind. That has often brought to my attention. Now, Miss Kelly, I'd like you to meet a very...
Mr. Dowd!
Elwood P., let me give you one of my cards.
Mr. Dowd, I am Dr. Lyman Sanderson, Dr. Chumley's assistant out here.
Well, good for you. I'm glad to know you, Doctor. How are you?
That's all going to depend on you, I'm afraid. Please be seated. You've met Miss Kelly, Mr. Dowd?
I've had that pleasure. And now I'd like both of you to meet a very dear friend of mine.
Later on. Be glad to. Won't you be seated? Because first I want to...
After Miss Kelly.
Sit down, Kelly. Is that chair quite comfortable for you, Mr. Dowd?
Yes, thank you. Would you care to try it?
No, thank you. How about an ashtray? Can we get Mr. Dowd an ashtray? Is it too warm in here for you, Mr. Dowd? Would you like for me to open a window?
Mr. Dowd, Dr. Sanderson would like to know if he should open a window.
Oh, that's entirely up to him. I wouldn't presume to live his life for him.
Now, Mr. Dowd, I can see you're not the type of person to be taken in by any high-flown phrases or beating about the bush.
Is that so, Doctor?
You have us at a disadvantage. You know it, we know it. Let's lay our cards out on the table.
Well, that certainly appeals to me, Doctor.
Best way in the long run. People are people, no matter where you go.
That is very often the case.
And being human are therefore liable to mistakes. Miss Kelly and I have made a mistake here this afternoon, and we'd like to explain it to you.
It wasn't Dr. Sanderson's fault, Mr. Dowd. It was mine.
A human failing, as I said.
Nevertheless, I find it interesting. Are you and Miss Kelly here? This afternoon, you said.
We do hope you'll understand, Mr. Dowd.
Oh, of course, these things are always the basis of a long and warm friendship.
And the responsibility, of course, isn't hers, but mine.
Well, your attitude may be old-fashioned, Doctor, but I like it.
Now, if I had seen your sister first, that would have been an entirely different story.
Well, there you surprised me. I mean, I think the world and all of Vita, but I had supposed she had seen her day.
We must not place any blame on her. She is a very sick woman. She came in here insisting you are in need of treatment. That's perfectly
You
ridiculous.
shouldn't be upset about that. I get along fine.
Exactly. But your sister had already spoken with Miss Kelly, and there was a call from your family lawyer, Judge Gaffney.
I know him well. And his wife. Fine people.
Is there anything I can get for you, Mr. Dowd?
What did you have in mind?
A light? Here, let me give you a light. Your sister was extremely nervous and plunged right away into a heated tirade on your drinking.
That would be Vita.
She became hysterical.
Oh, she shouldn't worry about that. I'll take care of that.
Exactly. Though I suppose you take a drink every now and then, same as the rest of us.
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I like one right now.
Matter of fact, so would I. But your sister's reaction to the whole matter of drinking was entirely too intense. Does your sister drink, Mr. Dowd?
Oh, no, Doctor. No, I don't believe Vita has ever taken a drink.
Well, I'm going to surprise you. I think she has and does constantly.
Well, I am certainly surprised.
But it's not her alcoholism that's going to be the basis for my diagnosis of her case. It's much more serious than that. It's when she began talking so emotionally about this big white rabbit, Harvey. Yes, I believe she called him Harvey.
Harvey is his name.
She claimed you were persecuting her with this Harvey.
I'm not persecuting Vita with Harvey. She shouldn't feel that way. Now, Doctor, look, before we go on, I must insist you let me introduce
Let me
you
make
to-
my point first. This trouble with your sister didn't just spring up overnight. Her condition stems from trauma.
From what?
From trauma, spelled Trauma. It means shock. Nothing unusual about it. There is the birth trauma, the shock to the act of being born.
That's the one we never get over.
You have a good sense of humor, doesn't he, Miss Kelly?
Oh, yes, Doctor.
May I say the same about both of you?
To sum it all up, your sister's condition is serious, but I can help her. She must, however, remain up here temporarily.
Well, I've always felt Vita should have whatever she needs.
Exactly.
But I wouldn't want Vita to stay out here unless Vita liked it out here and wanted to stay.
Of course. Did Wilson get what he went out for, Kelly?
Yes, Doctor.
And what was Mrs. Simmons' attitude?
Not unusual, Doctor.
Mr. Dowd, if this were any ordinary delusion, something reflected in the memory picture, in other words, if your sister were seeing something she had seen once before, that would be one thing. But this is more serious. It stands to reason nobody has ever seen a white rabbit 6 feet high.
Not very often, Doctor.
I like you, Dowd.
I like you too, Doctor. And Miss Kelly here. I like her too.
So she must be committed out here temporarily. Under these conditions, I would commit my own grandmother.
Does your grandmother drink too?
Just an expression. If you'll sign these temporary commitment papers as next of kin, just a formality.
Oh, you should have Vita do that, Doctor. She does all the signing and managing for the family. She's good at it.
We must not disturb her now.
Well, I could talk it over with Judge Gaffney.
You can explain it all to him later. Tell him I advised it. And it isn't as if you couldn't drop by here any time and make inquiries. Glad to have you. I'll write you up a full visitor's pass. When would you like to come back? Wednesday, say? Friday, say?
Well, you and Miss Kelly have been so pleasant, I could come back right after dinner. About an hour.
Well, we're pretty busy around here, but I guess that's all right.
I really don't have to go right now. I'm not that hungry.
Delighted to have you say, but Miss Kelly and I must be getting upstairs now. Plenty of work to do. But I'll tell you what you might like to do.
What might I like to do?
We don't usually do this, but just to make sure in your mind that your sister's in good hands, why don't you have a look around here? If you go out that door and make a right, Just past the stairs, you'll find the occupational therapy room. Then beyond that, you'll find the conservatory, the library, and the diet kitchen.
For Vita's sake, I believe I should do that, Doctor.
Very well then. Mr. Dowd, it has been a pleasure to have this little chat with you.
I've enjoyed it too, Doctor. Meeting you and Miss Kelly here.
And may I say that for a layman, you have an unusually acute perception into psychiatric problems.
Is that a fact, Doctor? I never knew I knew anything about it. Nobody does, do you think?
Well, the good psychiatrist isn't found under every bush.
You have to find the right bush. Now, since we all seem to have enjoyed this so much, why don't we keep right on? I'd like to invite the two of you down to Charlie's place with me now for a drink. When I like people, I like to stay right with them.
Sorry, we're on duty. Give us a rain check. Some other time, be glad to.
When?
Well, I really couldn't say. Miss Kelly and I don't get off work till 10 o'clock at night.
Then we'll go down to Charlie's place at 10 o'clock tonight.
Well,
And Miss Kelly.
Dr. Chumley doesn't approve of members of the staff fraternizing, but since you've been so understanding, I suppose we can manage it.
Then I'll come out here tonight and pick you up in a cab at 10 o'clock. And the four of us will go into town and have a happy evening. Now, I want you to become friends with a very dear friend of mine. You said later on, so later on it will be. Goodbye now.
Phew, now I can breathe again.
Oh boy, that was a close shave. But he seemed to be a reasonable sort of fellow. That man is proud. What he has to be proud of, I don't know. But I played up to that pride. You can get to almost anybody if you want to. I now have to check in on that Simmons woman.
Dr. Sanderson, you say you can get to anybody if you want to. How do you do that?
Take study. Years of specialized training. There's just one thing I don't like about this Dowd business.
What's that?
Having to make that date with him. Of course, he's left here a good friend and a booster of the sanitarium, so I guess I have to go with him. But you don't have to go.
Oh.
No point in it. I'll have a drink with him, pat him on the back, then leave. I've got a date tonight anyway.
Oh, well, by all means. I didn't intend to go anyway. The very idea bored me stiff. I wouldn't go if I never went anywhere again. I wouldn't go if my life depended on it.
What's the matter with you, Kelly? What are you getting so emotional about?
He may be a peculiar man with funny clothes, but he knows how to act. His manners were perfect.
I saw you giving him the doll puss stare. Don't think I missed that.
He wouldn't sit down till I sat down. He told me I was lovely. He called me dear. I would have a drink with him if you weren't going.
Sure you would. And look at him. All he does is hang around bars. He doesn't work. And all that corny bowing and getting up out of his chair anytime a woman makes a move. He's as outdated as a cast iron deer. But you sit with him in a bar and let him flatter you. You're a wonderful girl, Kelly.
Let me tell you something.
Dr. Sanderson, Miss Kelly!
Yes,
Tell the gardener to be more careful in pruning around my prize roses along the fence by the main road. They'll be ready for cutting next week. That difficulty with the woman who has the big white rabbit, has it been smoothed over?
Yes, Doctor. Her brother was quite reasonable.
Well, I've had many patients here who saw animals. I have never had a patient with an animal that large.
Yet, Doctor, I believe she called him Harvey.
Harvey? Unusual name for an animal of any kind. Harvey's a man's name. I've known many men of my day named Harvey, but never an animal whatsoever with that name. This case has an interesting phase, Doctor.
Yes, Doctor.
I shall go upstairs with you now and look in on that woman. It may be that we can use my Formula 977 on her. I will give you my advice on prescribing the treatment.
Thank you, Doctor.
And now, may I ask, what is that hat and coat doing on the table? Who's it?
I don't know, Doctor. Do you know, Kelly? Was it Dowd's?
No, Doctor. He had his hat on. Perhaps it belongs to a relative of one of the patients.
Hand me that hat! There may be some identification on there. What is this? 2 holes in the crown of the hat, see?
That's strange.
Some new fad. Hang it up. Get it out of here.
Hello, Dr. Chumley.
Oh, there you are.
How is every little old thing?
Oh, fair, Wilson. Thank you, fair.
Look, somebody's got to give me a hand with this Simmons dame. Order her a straight jacket or something. She's terrible. Forgot me, didn't you? Well, I got her corset off all by myself.
We're going upstairs to look on the patient right now, Wilson.
She's in the hydro tub now. My God! I left the water running on her!
Willie!
Oh.
Remember your promise. Hello, Dr. Sanderson. Willie, you haven't forgotten Dr. McClure's cocktail party? We promised them faithfully.
Oh, that's right. I have to go upstairs and look on the patients. I'll be down shortly.
Give a quick little diagnosis, Willie. We don't want to be late for the party. Dying to see the inside of that house. Good evening.
Oh, good evening.
I'm Mrs. Chumley, Dr. Chumley's wife.
Come on, how did you know that? Dowd is the name. Elwood P. Let me give you one of my cards. If you should like to call me, please call me at that number. Don't call me at that number, because that's the old ones.
Thank you. Is there something I can do for you?
What did you have in mind?
Well, you seem to be looking for someone.
I am. I'm looking for Harvey. I went off without him.
Harvey, is he a patient here?
Oh, no, nothing like that.
Does he work here?
No, he's what you might call my best friend.
Oh.
He's also a puka. He came out here this afternoon with me and Vita.
Well, where was he the last time you saw him?
Well, he was sitting in that chair with his hat and coat on the table.
Well, there doesn't seem to be any hat and coat here now. Perhaps he left.
Apparently, I don't see him anywhere.
What was that word you just said, puka?
Yes, that was it.
Is that something new?
No, as I understand it, that's something very old.
Oh, I just never happened to hear it before.
I'm not surprised by that. I hadn't either until I met him. Oh, I do hope you have the opportunity to meet him. I'm sure he would be quite taken with you.
Oh, really? Well, it's very nice of you to say so, I'm sure.
Oh, not at all, my dear. When Harvey takes a liking to people, he expresses himself quite definitely. If he's not particularly interested, he just sits there like an empty chair or an empty space. Harvey takes his time making his mind up about people. Choosy, you see.
Well, that's not such a bad way to be in this day and age.
Harvey's very fond of my sister Vita. That's because Harvey's fond of me and we're from the same family. You'd think that feeling would be mutual, wouldn't you? But Vita doesn't seem to care for Harvey. Don't you think that's just rather too sad, Mrs. Chumley?
I don't know, Mr. Dowd. I gave up a long time ago, expecting my family to like my friends.
Oh, but we must always keep on trying.
There's no harm in trying, I suppose.
Because if Harvey has said to me once, he has said a million times, Mr. Dowd, I would do anything for you. Mrs. Chumley.
Yes.
Did you know that Mrs. McElhenty's Aunt Rose is going to drop in on her unexpectedly this evening?
I didn't.
Well, that makes two. Doesn't it? Put you in the same boat.
Well, I don't know anyone named Mrs.
McElhenty lives next door to her. Wonderful woman. Harvey told me about her Aunt Rose. That's a very interesting little news item, and you are perfectly free to pass it around.
I don't know who
Would you care to come downtown with me now, my dear? I'd be glad to buy you a drink.
Oh, thank you very much. But I'm waiting for Dr. Chumley, and if he was to come down and find me gone, he'd be liable to raise holy... he would be irritated.
We wouldn't want that now, would we? Another time, maybe.
I'll tell you what I'll do, however.
What will you do, however? I'm interested.
If your friend comes in while I'm still here, I'll be glad to give him a message for you.
Would you do that? I would certainly appreciate that.
Oh, no trouble at all. I'll write it on the back of this.
Here you are.
Oh, thank you. Now, what would you like me to tell him if he comes in while I'm still here?
Ask him to meet me downtown, if he doesn't have other plans.
Meet Mr. Dowd downtown. Any particular place downtown?
He'll know where. Harvey knows his town like a book.
Harvey. You know where. Harvey what?
Just Harvey.
I'll tell you what.
What?
Doctor and I are heading right downtown. Dr. McClure's having a cocktail party at 12th and Montclair.
Cocktail party at 12th and Montclair.
We'll be driving there in a couple of minutes. We can get you turned out into town.
I would certainly appreciate that. I hate to impose.
Oh, no trouble at all. Dr. McClure's having this party for his sister from Wichita.
I didn't know Dr. McClure had a sister in Wichita.
Oh, do you know Dr. McClure?
No. Are you sure you have the time to come downtown with me for a drink?
I really couldn't, but thank you just the same.
Another time, perhaps.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to meet you, and I hope to see you again.
Yes, so do I.
Goodbye for now. Oh! You can't miss Harvey. He's very tall. Like that.
That Simmons woman is uncooperative, Doctor. She refuses to admit that she has a rabbit. She insists it's her brother. Give her two of these at 9, another one at 10 if she's still restless. Now another trip to the hype room at 8, and then again at 7 in the morning. Then we won't see she won't cooperate. Won't we, Doctor?
Yes, Doctor.
Well, you know where to reach me if you need me. Ready?
Yes, Willie. Oh, and Willie?
Yes.
There was a man here, a man named, oh, here's his card. Dowd, Elwood P. Dowd.
That's Mrs. Simmons' brother, Doctor. I told him he could have a look around, and I gave him full visiting privileges.
Oh, she's not to see anyone tonight? No one at all. You tell him that.
Yes, Doctor.
Oh, he didn't ask to see her. He was looking for someone, some friend of his.
Who could that be, Dr. Sanderson?
I don't know, Doctor.
He said it was someone he came out here with this afternoon.
Was there anyone with Mr. Dowd when you saw him, Miss Kelly?
No, Doctor. Not when I saw him.
Well, he said there was. He said he last saw his friend sitting in that chair with his hat and coat. He seemed quite disappointed.
Dr. Sanderson!
I told him if we located his friend, we could give him a lift into town. He could ride in the back seat. Was that all right, Willie?
Oh, of course, of course.
Oh, here it is. I wrote it down on the back of this card.
Oh, yes.
His friend's name was Harvey.
Harvey?
Oh, he didn't give any last name. He said something else about him, Puka, but I didn't quite get what that was.
Harvey!
He said his friend was quite tall. Willie, why are you looking like that? This was a very nice, polite man. And he merely asked us to give his friend a lift into town. And if we can't do a favor for someone, why are we living?
Where did he go, Mrs. Chumley? How long ago was he in here?
Somebody get me that hat! By George, I want to find out about this!
Well, I don't know where he went. It's just a second ago.
Main gate. Henry? Dr. Sanderson.
Gaffney, Judge Gaffney.
Did a man in a brown suit leave through the main gate? He did! He's gone!
Judge Gaffney! Dr. William Chumley, a psychiatrist. I'm doing a routine check of the spelling of a name before putting it on records. You telephoned here this afternoon about having one of your clients committed. How do you spell that name? With a W, not a U. Elwood P. Dowd. Thank you, Judge. Thank you. Dr. Sanderson. I believe your name is Sanderson?
Yes, Doctor.
Oh, you know that much, do you? Well, you went to medical school, you graduated, you studied in the field of psychiatry, you graduated, you went forth, perhaps they neglected to tell you that a rabbit has large pointed ears, and that a hat had to be perforated in order to make room for those ears.
Mr. Dowd seemed reasonable enough this afternoon.
Doctor, the function of a psychiatrist is to decide who is reasonable and who merely acts and talks reasonably. Do you know what you have done to me? Don't answer. I will tell you. You have permitted a psychopathic case to walk off these premises and roam around with an overgrown white rabbit. And you have subjected me, a psychiatrist, to the humiliation of having to call, of all things, a lawyer. To find out who is to be committed and who is to commit. No, just a minute. Wilson, I want you. I shall have to do something now that I haven't done in 15 years. I shall have to go after that man, Edward P. Dowd, and I will bring him back. And when I do bring him back, your connection to this institution is ended as of that moment. Wilson, get the car, pet! Call the McClures and say that we can't make it. Miss Kelly, come upstairs with me. We're going to get that woman out of the tub!
Yes, Doctor.
I'll have to tell the cook we'll be here for dinner. She'll be furious. Wilson,
Yes, ma'am.
what's a puka?
A what?
A puka.
You can search me, Mrs. Chumley.
Maybe it's in the encyclopedia here. They have everything in here. I wonder if it's a lodge or what it is. Oh, I don't dare stop to do this now. Dr. Chumley won't want to come down and find me still here. He'd be liable to raise, oh dear.
P-O-O-K-A. Puka, a mythical creature of Celtic mythology, a fairy spirit in animal form, always very large. The puka appears here and there now and then, to this one and that one, at his own caprice. A wise but mischievous creature, very fond of rum pots, crackpots, and how are you, Mr. Wilson? How are you, Mr. Wilson? Who in the encyclopedia wants to know?
How the hell with it?
The stairs at the end of the hall. They go up to the 3rd floor. Go right up. I'll be with you in a minute.
Well, where is she?
Where's who? Whom do you mean, Judge Gaffney?
Sit down, won't you?
I mean your mother. Where's Vita Louise?
The judge, you know where she is. She took Uncle Albert out with the sanitarium.
Oh, I know that. And she called me down at the club with a bunch of hysteria. Couldn't even get to what she was talking about. Carrying on something fierce.
Mother carrying on? What about?
I don't know. She was ecstatic.
That's strange. All she had to do was take Uncle Albert out to the sanitarium and put him in.
Did you find it? I'll be with you in a minute. They found it.
Who? Found what? What are you talking about?
Well, when Mother left the house with Uncle Elwood, I went to the real estate office to put the house on the market. And what do you think I found there?
I'm no quiz kid.
Well, I found a man who was looking for an old house just like this to cut up into buffet apartments. He's going through it now.
Listen, Myrtle, this house doesn't belong to you. What belongs to your Uncle Elwood?
Ah, but with Uncle Albert locked up, Mother controls the property, doesn't she?
Where is your mother? Where is Vita Louise?
Judge, I told you she went out to Chumley's Rest to tell them about Harvey and put Uncle Elwood in.
But she called me down at the club when I was in the middle of the game and screamed at me to meet her here about something important.
I don't know. I simply don't know. Have you got the deed to this house?
Oh, why, certainly. It's in my safe. You know, Myrtle, I feel kind of bad about this thing and locking Elwood up.
Mother and I can take a long trip now, all the way to Pasadena.
You know, I always liked that boy. He could have done anything, been anything, made a place for himself in this community.
And all he did was get a big rabbit.
He had everything. Personality, brains, friends. Men liked him, women liked him. I even liked him.
You mean to tell me that once Uncle Elwood was like other men, and that women actually liked him? I mean, in that way?
Since he started running around with that big rabbit. But they did once. Once that mailbox at your grandmother's was full of these little blue scented envelopes for Elwood.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, well, you know what? There's always something a little different about Elwood.
I don't doubt that.
It was always so calm when it came to any sudden change in plans. I used to admire that. Now I'm just a little suspicious. But take your average man, looking up and seeing a big white rabbit, he'd do something about it. Not Elwood. He looked at that calmly, and look where it got him.
You don't dream how far overboard he's gone on this rabbit.
Oh, yes, I do. He's been up in my office many times with that rabbit. Now, I'm old, but I don't miss much. What's that noise?
The prospective buyer on the 3rd floor. Mother!
Hey, what's wrong, girl?
I never quite see either of you again.
Steady, girl, steady.
Now,
Steady.
Not so fast.
Easy, man. Easy, just a little more there. Here we go. Sit here. There you go, Vita. There it is. Sit down.
On the gas bill.
Oh.
Now, Myrtle, why don't you get us some tea? Do you want some tea, Vita?
I'll get you some tea, Mother. Get her coat off.
Let Myrtle get your coat off.
Leave me alone. Just let me sit here. Let me get my breath.
Just let her get her breath.
Let me just sit here a minute. and let me get upstairs to my own bed where I can let go.
Mother, what happened to you?
Omar, I want you to sue them. They put me in and let Elwood out. Just look at my hair.
What did you do? What did you say? You must have done something.
I didn't do one thing. I simply told them about Elwood and Harvey.
Well, then how can something like this happen to you? I don't understand.
Well, I told them about Elwood, and then I went out to the cab to get his things. As I was walking along the path, this awful man stepped out. He was a white slaver. He had on one of those white suits. Oh, that's how they advertise.
A man, Mother, what's he do?
What did he do? He took hold of me and he took me inside there and then he...
Go on, Vina, go on, girl.
Poor Mother. Was he a young man?
Perhaps you should leave the room.
Now, I should say not. Go on, Mother.
Oh, what did he do, Vina?
Then he took me upstairs and he tore my clothes.
Did you hear that, Judge?
Oh, my God, I'll sue them for this.
Then he threw me down in a tub of water.
Now, for heaven's sakes.
I've always thought that what you were showed on your face. Don't you believe it, Judge? And don't you believe it, Myrtle? That man took hold of me like I was a woman of the streets. Oh, but I fought. I always said that if a man jumped at me, I'd fight. Haven't I always said that, Myrtle?
She's always said that, Judge. That's just what Mother always told me to do.
And then he hustled me into that sanitarium and he set me down in a tub of water and began treating me like I was a crazy woman. Oh, but he did that just for spite.
Oh, well, I'll be damned.
Oh, and then those doctors came upstairs and they asked me a lot of questions, all about sex urges and all that filthy stuff. That place ought to be cleaned up, Omar. You better get the authorities to clean it up. Oh, don't you ever go out there, Myrtle. You promise me?
Oh, but this stinks, Vina. By God, this stinks.
Well, you better do something about it, Omar. You have got to sue them.
Oh, I will, girl. By God, I will. If this Chumley thinks he can run in an unsavory place like this out on the outskirts of town, oh, go be chastised. By God, I'll chase him out of the state.
Tell me something, Judge. Is that all these doctors do at places like this? Talk about sex?
I don't know.
Because if they do, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. That's all in their head anyway. Why can't they go out and take long walks in the fresh air? Oh, Judge Gaffney walked everywhere for years, didn't you, Judge?
Now let me take some notes on this. You say that these doctors came up and talked to you? Dr. Chumley and what was the name of the other doctor?
Sanderson.
Sanderson.
But don't you pay any attention to anything he tells you. He's a liar. Close-set eyes, they're always liars. Besides, he told me something in the strictest confidence. I told him something in the strictest confidence, and he believed it.
What did you tell him, Mother?
What difference does it make? Oh, let's forget about it. I don't even want to talk about it. You can't trust anybody.
Whatever you told this Dr. Sanderson, you can tell us, Vina. This is your daughter, and I'm your lawyer.
I know which is which, and I don't want to talk about it. I want to sue them. I don't want to get into my own bed.
But Mother, and this is the important thing anyway, where is Uncle Elwood?
I should have known better than to try to do anything about him. Something protects him. Oh, awful poker.
Where is Uncle Elwood? Answer me.
How should I know? They let him go. They're not interested in men in places like that. Oh, not so naive, Myrtle May. What is that noise?
I found a buyer for the house.
What?
Listen, Mother, we've got to find Uncle Elwood. No matter what happened to you this afternoon, we've got to lock Uncle Elwood up.
I don't know where he is. Oh, next time, you take him, Judge. Widow Elwood finds out what they did to me. He won't stand for it. Oh, Judge, don't forget to sue them. Oh, Oh, I hope. He said never. Never as long as you live. A man pulls the clothes off of you and dumps you down into a tub of water.
Ow! Now see here, Mother mucked everything. No matter what happened, Uncle Elwood's still running around with Harvey.
I think, Roy, for me, I should take some more notes.
This is all Uncle Elwood's fault. He found out what Mother was up to. Then he had her put in and he ran.
Oh, now don't talk like that. Your uncle thinks the world of all of your mother. Ever since he was a little kid, all he wanted to do was share everything he had with her.
I'm not giving up. We'll get detectives. We'll find him. And besides, you need to save some of that sympathy for me and Mother. You have no idea what we've had to put up with. Just wait until I show you what he brought home about 6 months ago. We hid it in the garage. Just wait here.
Well, I'm going to go to the theater. There's more than this than what she's telling. I sense that.
Just you wait, Judge.
Okay, well, I'll wait.
Okay, is he here?
Oh, what's this?
That crackpot with the rabbit. Is he here?
No, and who may I ask are you?
He's not here, Doctor. Okay, Dr. Chumley's coming in anyway. What's your name?
Dr. Chumley, huh? Well, listen, I got to say something to him.
Your name. Let's have it.
I am Judge Omar Gaffney. Now, where's Chumley?
The reason I ask your name is Dr. Chumley always likes to know who he's talking to. This guy says his name's Judge Gaffney, Doctor.
Chumley, well.
Good evening, Judge. Let's not waste time. Has he been here?
Who, Elwood? No. But listen here, Doctor.
You sure he ain't been here? He's wise now. He's hiding. It'll be an awful job to smoke him out.
It'll be more difficult, but I'll do it. They're sly. They're cunning. But I get them. I always do. Do you have the list of places where we've been, Wilson?
Right here, Doctor.
Read it.
We've been to 17 bars. Eddie's Place, Charlie's Place, Bessie's Barn Dance, the 4th Avenue Firehouse, the 10th and 12th and 9th Avenue Firehouses, just to make sure, the Union Station, the grain elevator. Say, why does this guy go down to a grain elevator?
The foreman is a friend of his. He has lots of friends in lots of places.
I have stopped by here to ask Mrs. Simmons if she has any other suggestions as to where we might look for him.
Well, Dr. Chumley, I have to inform you that Mrs. Simmons has retained me to file suit with you.
What?
For what happened at the sanitarium this
A
afternoon.
suit?
Yes, and while we're on that subject...
Yeah, that's pretty, ain't it, Doc? After us dragging your town, all over town, trying to find that guy.
What happened this afternoon was an unfortunate mistake. I have discharged my assistant who made it, and I'm prepared to take on this case personally. And my interest in a case is something, well, that no amount of money can buy. You can ask any of them.
Yeah, but this thing this afternoon...
Water under the dam! I look at it like this. I see it this way. The more important item now is get that man back to the sanitarium where he belongs.
That's right. That's just what I think, Judge.
Allow me to introduce Miss Myrtle Simmons, Mr. Dow's niece and Mrs. Simmons' daughter.
How do you do, Dr. Chumley?
How do you do, Miss Simmons?
Hello, Myrtle.
What?
Could I please talk to Mrs. Simmons?
Mother won't come down, Doctor. I just know she won't. Maybe you could get her to talk to him, Judge.
Well, see here, your mother was manhandled. She was, well, God knows what she was. The man's approach to her was not professional. It was personal.
This is a serious charge, Wilson.
Dr. Chumley, I've been with you for 10 years. Are you going to believe me, or what's your name again?
Judge Omar Gaffney.
Thanks. You're going to listen to this old blister Gaffney?
Wilson!
Me, and the dame who sees a rabbit.
It's not Mrs. Simmons that sees the rabbit, it's her brother.
Yes, it's Uncle Elwood.
Now, would you come with me, Doc?
Very well, Judge. Wilson, I have a situation. Wait for me.
Okay, Doctor. So, your name's Myrtle May.
What? Oh, yes.
You know, if we grab your uncle, you're liable to be coming out to the sanitarium on visiting days.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, if you do, I'll be there.
You will? Oh,
And if you don't see me right away, stick around. I'll show up.
you will? Oh,
Sure. You heard Dr. Chumley tell me to wait?
yeah.
I'll tell you what, while I'm waiting, I sure could use a sandwich and a cup of coffee.
Certainly. If you'll forgive me, I'll precede you into the kitchen.
Yes, sir, Myrtle. You're all right. Dr. Chumley noticed it right away. He don't miss a trick. And I'll tell you something else, Myrtle.
What?
You not only got a nice build, but kid, you got something else too.
What?
You got the screwiest uncle that ever stuck his puss inside of our nut house.
Hello, Chumley's Rest. Is Dr. Chumley there? Oh, it's Mrs. Chumley. This is Elwood P. Dowd speaking. How are you tonight? Oh, Mrs. Chumley, were you able to locate Harvey? Well, that's all right. I'll find him. Don't worry about it. I'm sorry I missed you at the McClure cocktail party. The people were very lovely, and I was able to leave a lot of my cards. I waited until you called and said you couldn't come because a patient had escaped. Where am I now? I'm here. But I'll be leaving right away. I must find Harvey. Well, goodbye, Mrs. Chumley. And my best regards to you and anybody you may run into. Goodbye. Oh.
Doctor, you might as well go home and wait. I'm suing you for $50,000 and that's final.
Mrs. Simmons,
Yes? All right.
this painting over the mantel,
Ah, that portrait happens to be the pride of this house.
who painted it?
Oh, some man, I forget his name. He was around here for the sittings and then we paid him and he went away. Hello? Yes? No. This is Dexter 1567.
Well, I guess if you have the money to pay people, you can persuade them to do anything.
Well, Dr. Chumley, when you helped me out of that time at your place, what did I say to you?
Well, you expressed yourself, but I can't remember the
Yes,
words.
I said to you, Dr. Chumley, this is a belated civility. Isn't that what I said?
You said something of the sort, yes.
Well, you brought this up. You might as well learn something quick.
Okay.
I took a course in art this past winter. The difference between a fine oil painting and a mechanical thing, like a photograph, is simply this. The photograph shows only the reality. The oil painting shows not only the reality, but the dream behind it. It's our dreams that keep us going, that separate us from the beasts. I wouldn't even want to live if I thought it was all just eating and sleeping and taking off my clothes. Oh, well, putting them back on again. What?
Mrs. Simmons, what's the problem? What's the matter?
Oh, Doctor, that is not my mother!
I'm glad that you're back.
Oh, Doctor, Edward's been here. He has been here.
Quiet now, quiet now. Oh, I'll get it.
Oh, oh,
Hello? Yes, who is it?
asking where he is. He wants to know if Harvey is here.
Tell him Harvey is
But
here.
he isn't.
Tell him that'll bring him here, perhaps. Humor him.
Yes, Elwood. Yes, dear. Harvey is here. Why don't you come home? Oh. Oh. Oh, well, all right. It's not going to work. He says for me to call Harvey to the telephone.
Tell him Harvey is here, but he can't come to the telephone. Tell him he's in the bathtub.
Bathtub?
Tell him he's in the bathtub and we'll send him over there. That way we'll find out where he is.
Oh, Doctor.
Oh, but Mrs. Simmons, you've got to do it.
Hello, Elwood? Yes, dear. Yes, Harvey is here, but he can't come to the telephone right now. He's in the bathtub. I'll send him over as soon as he's dry. Where are you? Where? Elwood!
Oh, did he hang up?
Harvey just walked through the door.
Oh.
He told me he looked in the bathtub. It must be a stranger. But I know where he is. He's at Charlie's place. That's the bar over on 12th and Main.
12th and Main, that's 2 blocks down and 1 over, isn't it?
Doctor, where are you going?
I'm going down there to get your brother and bring him back to the sanitarium where he belongs.
Doctor, don't do that. Send one of your attendants. I'm warning you.
But Mrs. Simmons, am I to help your brother?
Oh, he can't be helped. There is no help for him. He must be picked up and locked up and left.
You consider him a dangerous
Oh,
man?
dangerous.
But why?
Well, I won't tell you why, but if I didn't think so, why would I be asking for a permanent commitment for him?
Then I must observe him. I must watch the expression on his face when he talks to that rabbit. He does talk to the rabbit, you say.
Oh, they tell each other everything.
What?
Oh, I said, of course he talks to the rabbit. Oh, but doctor, don't go after him. You will regret it if you do.
Don't worry, you underestimate me.
Oh, no, doctor. You underestimate my brother.
Not to worry, Mrs. Simmons. I can handle him.
You can handle him. That's what you think. Meadowbane, see who's in the bathtub. Oh.
Thank you. I may call later.
How about that stuff in your room, Doctor? Upstairs.
All packed. Thanks, Wilson.
Tough, you're getting bounced. I had you pegged as the one who'd make the grade.
Those are the breaks.
What time are you taking off?
As soon as Dr. Chumley gets back.
Have you heard back yet from the desk sergeant in the police accident bureau?
Not yet. I just got off the phone with the downtown dispensary. Haven't heard from him.
It's beginning to smell awful funny to me. 4 hours he's been gone and not a word from him. I may not see you again, Doctor. So I want to say I wish you a lot of luck, and I'm mighty sorry you got a kick in the at-pray.
Thanks, Wilson. Good luck to you, too.
Look, Kelly, let me know if you hear back from the desk sergeant again. If there's no sign of the doctor, I'm going into town to look for him myself. You should know better than where for a psycho without me.
I'd like to help look for the doctor, too, Wilson.
That's swelly, Doctor. Right after we give you the brush.
I have no resentments against Dr. Chumley. He was right, I was wrong. Dr. Chumley's the biggest man in his field, and it's my loss not to be able to work with him.
You're not so small yourself, Doctor.
Thanks, Wilson.
Don't mention it.
Dr. Sanderson.
Yes?
Well, doctor, I'd just like to say that I wish you a lot of luck too, and I'm sorry to see you leave.
You sure you can spare those good wishes on me, Kelly?
On second thought, I guess I can't. Forget it.
Miss Kelly! This is for nothing, just a little bit of advice. I'd be a bit more careful if I were you about the kind of company I kept.
I beg your pardon, doctor?
You don't have to. I told you it was free. I saw you last Saturday night dancing with that drip down at the Rose Room at the Frontier Hotel.
Oh, did you? I didn't notice you.
I'd be careful of him, Kelly. He looked to me like a schizophrenic all the way across the floor.
You really shouldn't have given him a thought, doctor. He was my date, not yours.
That was his mentality. The rest of him, well...
But she was beautiful, though. with.
I thought you said you didn't notice.
Well, you bumped into us twice. How could I help it?
Not that it matters to you, but that girl is a charming young lady. She has a sweet, kind disposition, and she knows how to conduct herself.
Funny she couldn't get a better date on a Saturday night.
And she has an excellent mind.
Why doesn't she use it?
Oh, I don't suppose you're to be censured for the flippant hard shell you have. You're probably compensating for something.
I am not. Don't you use any of your psychiatry on me.
Oh, if I could try something else on you just once. Just to see if you'd melt under the circumstances. I doubt it.
You'll never know, Doctor.
Because you interest me as a case history. That's all. I'd like to see where you get that inflated ego.
Well, you just aren't the meanest person. Inflated ego. Case history?
Don't run away. Let's finish this.
Oh, you just leave me alone.
Gladly.
Chumley's rest! Sergeant, no accident report on him either in town or in the suburbs? Look, Sergeant, maybe we better send... Oh, never mind, Sergeant. They're here now. Mr. Dowd.
Good evening, my dear. These are for you.
Oh, for me? Well, thank you.
They're quite fresh, too. I just picked them outside.
Well, I hope Dr. Chumley didn't see you. They're his prize roses. Did he go upstairs?
Not knowing, I cannot say. Oh, those colors look lovely against your hair.
Never worn peach. Such a trying color.
You can improve any color, my dear.
Thank you. Did Dr. Chumley go to his house?
I don't know. Where's Dr. Sanderson?
Over there at his office, I think.
Thank you.
Dowd! There you
I
are!
have a cab waiting outside if it's possible for you and Miss Kelly to get away now.
Where is Dr. Chumley?
Oh, is he joining us too? That's nice.
I don't know, Doctor.
I apologize for being a few seconds late, but I felt Miss Kelly should have flowers. After what happened out here this afternoon, Doctor, I really think those flowers should be from you. As you grow older and pretty women pass you by, you will think with deep gratitude of the generous girls of your youth. Shall we go now?
Just a moment, Dowd. The situation has changed since we last met this afternoon, but I urge you to have no resentments. Dr. Chumley is your friend. He only wants to help you.
Well, that's nice. I want to help him too.
If you'll start by taking a cooperative attitude, that's half the battle. We all have to face reality, Dowd, sooner or later.
I've wrestled with reality for 40 years, Doctor, and I'm here to state that I have finally won out over it. Won't you and Miss Kelly join me down at Charlie's place?
Here you are. Upstairs, buddy. We're going upstairs. Is the doctor okay?
There must be a mistake. Dr. Sanderson and Miss Kelly and I are headed downtown for a drink. We'd be glad to have you join us, Mr.
Wilson.
Wilson. They have a wonderful floor show.
Well, wait until you see the floor show we've got. Upstairs, buddy.
Just a moment, Wilson. Where did you say Dr. Chumley went tonight, Dowd?
As I said, he did not confide that in me.
You mean the doctor ain't showed up yet?
Not yet.
Where is he?
That's what we're trying to find out.
Mr. Dowd just walked in here by himself.
Did I? Listen, you. Talk fast, or I'm working you over.
Oh, I'd rather you didn't do that. And I'd rather you not mention such a thing in the presence of such a lovely young woman as Miss Kelly.
Mr. Dowd, Dr. Chumley went into town to pick you up. That was 4 hours ago.
Where has the evening gone to?
Listen to that. Smart, eh?
Just a moment, Wilson. Did you see Dr. Chumley tonight, Dowd?
Yes, yes. He came into Charlie's place around dinner time. Oh, it's such a cozy spot. Let's all go down there now and talk it over a tall one.
We are going no place. Now I'm asking you a question, and if you don't button up your lip and give me some straight answers, I'm gonna beat it out of you.
What you suggest is impossible.
What's that?
You suggest that I button my lip and give you some straight answers. Can't be done.
Let me handle it, Wilson.
Well, handle it then, but find out what a doctor is.
You say Dr. Chumley did go into Charlie's place tonight?
He did, and I was glad to see him.
Go on.
He came in and asked for us, and the proprietor naturally brought him over to us, and then left. We exchanged the conventional greetings. I said, how do you do, Dr. Chumley? And he said, how do you do, Mr. Dowd? We said that at least once.
Go on. Go on.
I'm trying to be factual. Then I introduced him to Harvey.
To who?
A white rabbit, 6 feet tall.
6 feet?
6 feet 1.5.
Okay. Fool around with him, and the doctor's probably someplace bleeding to death in a ditch.
If those were his plans for the evening, he did not tell me.
Go on, Dowd.
Well, Dr. Chumley sat down at the booth with us. I was sitting on the outside like this, and Harvey was sitting here against the wall, and Dr. Chumley was seated across from him where he could look right at him.
That's right. Spent all night on his seating arrangements.
Harvey then asked me to buy him a drink. Knowing that Harvey doesn't like to drink alone, I suggested to Dr. Chumley that we join him.
So?
We joined him.
Go on. Go on.
We joined him again.
Then what?
We kept right on joining him.
Skip all the joining.
Oh, you were asking me to skip a large portion of the evening.
Tell us what happened. Come on. Please.
Well, Dr. Chumley and Harvey got into a conversation, quietly at first. But then it became heated later, and Dr. Chumley raised his voice.
Yeah? Why?
Well, Harvey had suggested that Dr. Chumley assume some of the financial responsibility for the joining. Dr. Chumley didn't seem to want to do that.
I can believe that part of it.
Let him talk. See how far we'll go. This guy's got guts.
Well, I agreed to take the whole thing because I didn't want any trouble. We go into Charlie's place a lot, Harvey and I. Oh, the proprietor is such a fine man with a very interesting approach to life. Well, then the other matter came up.
Cut the damn double talk and get on with it.
Mr. Wilson, you're a sincere type person, but I must ask you to not use that sort of language in the presence of Miss Kelly.
You're right, Dowd, and we're sorry. You say the other matter came up?
Yes. It was a beautiful blonde woman, Mrs. Smethills, seated at the other booth across from us with her escort. Dr. Chumley went over to sit next to her, explaining that they had met once in Chicago. Her escort then escorted Dr. Chumley back to us and tried to point out that it would be better for Dr. Chumley if he would mind his own affairs. Does he have any?
Does he have any what?
Does he have any affairs?
How would I know?
Please hurry, Mr. Dowd. We're all so worried.
Well, Dr. Chumley was urging Harvey to go to Blondie's Chicken Inn, but Harvey wanted to go to Eddie's place. While they were arguing about it, I went to the bar to get another drink, and when I came back, they were gone.
Where did they go? I mean, where did the doctor go?
I don't know. I had a date out here with Dr. Sanderson and Miss Kelly, and I came out here to pick them up, hoping that later on we would run into them and make a party of it.
So, satisfied? You got his story? Okay, you're lying and we know it.
Oh, I never lied to you.
You've done something with the doctor, and I'm finding out what it is.
Don't touch him, Wilson.
Maybe he isn't lying, Wilson.
What this guy is a bunch of lies. You two don't believe this story he tells about the doctor sitting there talking to a big white rabbit, do you?
But maybe Dr. Chumley did go to Charlie's place.
And saw a big rabbit, I suppose.
And why not? Harvey was there. At first, the doctor seemed to be frightened of Harvey. That soon turned to admiration as the evening wore on. The evening wore on. That's a nice expression. With your permission, I'll say it again. The evening wore on.
With your permission, I'm gonna knock your teeth down your throat!
Mr. Wilson, have you some old friends you can go play with?
The nerve of this guy! He couldn't come in here with an ordinary case of DTs. Yeah. He's gotta come in with a 6-foot rabbit!
Stimulating as all this is, I really must be getting downtown.
Charlie's place. Is Dr. Chumley anywhere around there? He was there earlier in the evening with Mr. Dowd. What? Well, don't bite my head off. Why, that man was mad. He said that Mr. Dowd was welcome there any time, but his friend was not.
That was Mr. McNulty, the bartender. He thinks a lot of me. Now let's all go down there now and have a drink.
Wait a minute.
Mr. Dowd.
Yes, ma'am. May I hold your hand?
Oh, well, yes, if you want to. Poor Mrs. Chumley is so worried. Something must have happened to the doctor. Will you please try and think of something, of anything else that might help her? Please.
I would do anything for you. I would almost be willing to relive my life. Almost. But I've told you all there is.
You're sure?
Quite sure. But ask me again anyway, won't you? I like the warm tone you had in your voice just then.
So did I.
Oh, nuts! Nuts!
I must be going. I have things to do.
Mr. Dowd, what is it that you do?
Harvey and I sit in the bars, and we have a drink or two, and we listen to the jukebox. Seeing the faces of the other people turn toward mine, smile. They're thinking, we don't know your name, mister, but you're a lovely fellow. Harvey and I warm ourselves in all these golden moments. We've entered as strangers, and we have friends. They come over to us, they sit with us, they drink with us, they talk to us. They tell us about the big, terrible things they've done, about the big, wonderful things they will do, their hopes, their regrets, their loves, their hates, all very large because nobody ever brings anything small into a bar. And then I introduce them to Harvey, and he is bigger and grander than anything they have to offer me. When they leave impressed. The same people seldom come back. But that's envy, my dear. There's a little bit of envy in the best of us. Too bad, isn't it?
How did you happen to call him Harvey?
Harvey is his name.
How do you know that?
Well, that's a very interesting coincidence, Doctor. Several years ago, I was walking one evening along Fairfax between 18th and 19th. Do you know the block?
Yes, yes.
I had just helped Ed Hickey into a taxi. Ed had been mixing his rye and his gin, and he was a bit spiffed. Anyway, I was walking along, and I heard a voice say, "Good evening, Mr. Dowd." And when I turned, I saw a great white rabbit leaning up against the lamppost. Well, I didn't think much of that. I've lived in a town as long as I've lived in this town, you get used to the fact that everybody knows your name. So naturally, I walked up to him and I said, or actually, he said to me, "Ed Hickey is a bit spiffed this evening, or could I be mistaken?" He wasn't mistaken. I think the world and all of Ed, but he was spiffed. So we stood there and talked for a while. And after a while, I finally said, "You have the advantage of me. You know my name, and I don't know yours." He said right back at me, he said, "What name do you like?" No, I didn't have to think but a minute. Harvey has always been my favorite name. So I said, "Harvey." And this is the interesting part. He said, "What a coincidence. My name happens to be Harvey."
What was your father's name, Dowd?
John Frederick.
Dowd, when you were a child, you had a playmate, someone who you were very fond of, you spent many happy, carefree hours with?
Yes, I did, Doctor. Didn't you?
What was his name?
Vern McElhaney. Did you know the McElhaney's father?
No.
Oh, too bad. There were a lot of them. And they circulated. Wonderful people.
Think, Dowd. Wasn't there someone, somewhere, sometime, who you knew by the name of Harvey? Didn't you know anybody by that name?
No, Doctor, no one. Guess that's why I always had such high hopes for it.
Come on, Wilson. We'll get Mr. Dowd upstairs.
I'm taking him nowhere. You made this your show, now run it. Letting him sit here, forgetting all about Dr. Chumley. Okay, it's your show. You run it.
Come on, Dowd. Come on, Elwood.
Hi, Lyman. But I'm afraid I can't visit with you for long. I promised Harvey I would take him to the floor show.
Oh, boy. Dr. Chumley, are you all right?
All right, of course I'm all right. I'm being followed. Lock the door.
How'd you get out of here? I just saw you go in here.
I climbed out through my window. Wilson, don't leave me. Don't leave me.
No, doctor.
Get that man down. Out of here.
Yes, doctor.
Wilson, don't leave me.
But you said...
Don't be on the telephone.
Yes, doctor. Dumpsy, give that guy down his clothes. Get him down right away.
Wilson, don't leave me. Don't leave me.
Wait a minute, doctor. Judge Gaffney.
Let's see Dr. Trump.
Hiya, Myrtle.
Hello.
Dr. Trump, we have to talk here.
Okay.
This thing is serious.
I should say so.
More serious than you suspect. Where can we go to talk?
Oh, no, not there, not there.
The doctor will want you in his office.
No, sir.
Okay, well, sit down, Dr. Trump. Sit down, brother.
Sit down, Dr. Chumley. Sit down, Myrtle May. Wilson, don't leave me.
Now, Dr. Trump,
Yeah.
I have here my notes.
Okay.
The facts.
Yeah,
Now, can everyone hear me now?
Yeah, we can all hear you. Is that good?
Now, Dr. Chumley, has it ever occurred to you that there might possibly be something like this white rabbit, Harvey?
Of course there isn't. And anyone who thinks so is crazy. Well, don't look at me like that. There's nothing funny about me. I'm like my father's family. They're all dead.
Now, my client, the plaintiff, Miss Vita Louise Simmons, under oath, swears that on the morning of November 2nd, while standing in her kitchen, in her home, hearing her name called, she turned and saw a great white rabbit, Harvey. He was staring at her. Resenting the intrusion, the plaintiff made certain remarks and drove the creature from the room. He went.
What did she say to him?
She was pretty firm. The remarks are not important.
I want to know how she got that creature out of her sanitarium. I mean, her home.
I hate to have you tell him, Judge. It isn't a bit like Mother.
Quit stalling. Let's have it.
She looked him right in the eye and exclaimed in the heat of anger, "To hell with you."
To hell with you! He laughed, didn't he?
Yes, he left. But that's not the point. The point is it perjury or is it something that we can cope with?
Thank you.
I asked for your opinion, Doctor.
Okay.
Ruthie, I've been looking all over for you.
Dr. Sanderson, disregard what I said this afternoon. I want you back on my staff. You're a very astute young man.
Oh, Lyman, did you hear?
Oh, baby. Okay.
See you later.
You've just got to keep Uncle El without her, Doctor.
I want my sanitary back the way it was before that man got here this afternoon.
I know what you mean.
You do?
Of course. It gets on anyone's nerves the way Uncle Elwood knows what's going to happen before it happens. Take this morning, for instance. Uncle Elwood told us that Harvey told him that Mrs. McElhenney's Aunt Rose would drop in unexpectedly tonight from Cleveland.
And did she?
Did she what?
Aunt Rose! Did she come as Harvey said she would?
Of course, these things always turn out the way Uncle Elwood says they will. But what of it? What do we care about the McElhenneys?
This sort of thing happens very often.
Oh, yes, and isn't it silly? Uncle Elwood says that Harvey tells him everything. Harvey knows everything. How can he when there is no such thing as Harvey?
Fly specks! I've been spending my life among fly specks. Well, all the time miracles are laying on a lamppost and
Good. Nobody here but people.
Mother, you promised you wouldn't come out here.
Well, good evening. Now, I brought Elwood's bathrobe. Oh, why are you all just sitting here? I thought you'd be committing him.
Oh, sit down here, girl.
I'll sit there.
How about me and you stepping out Saturday night, Colonel May?
Certainly not. Colonel May, come here.
I'm sorry.
Well, is everything settled?
It will be.
Doctor, may I give an opinion?
Oh, yes, by all means.
Oh, I'm going to fit in. He's the doctor I told you about. The eyes.
It is my opinion that Elwood P. Dowd is suffering from a third-degree hallucination, and the other party concerned is a victim of autosuggestion. I recommend shot formula number 977 for him and bed rest at home.
You do?
That is my diagnosis, doctor. Mr. Dowd will not see this rabbit anymore after this injection. We have used it in hundreds of psychopathic cases.
Don't you call my brother a psychopathic case? There's never been anything like that in our family.
Mother, if you didn't think Uncle Elwood was psychopathic, then why did you bring him out here?
Well, where else could I take him? I couldn't take him to jail, could I? Besides, this is not your uncle's fault. Oh, why did Harvey have to speak to Elwood in the first place with a town full of people? Why did he have to bother Elwood?
Now quit your yapping here. You know, if the shock formula brings him back to reality, give it to him. That's where we want Elwood.
I don't think it would work in a case like this, Doctor.
It always has.
Harvey always follows Elwood home.
He does?
Yes. But if you give him the formula and Elwood doesn't see Harvey, he won't let him in. Then when he comes to the door, I'll deal with him.
Mother, I wish you would stop talking about Harvey as if there was such a thing.
Oh, Myrtle May, you have got so much to learn. I hope you never learn it.
Here he comes.
Oh, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Elwood. I brought you your bathrobe.
Thank you, Vita.
Doctor, what are we going to do? We have to do something.
I should say so.
Oh, it's imperative.
Well, we were all trying to make up your minds. Why don't we go down to Charlie's place and have a drink?
You're not going anywhere, Elwood. You're staying here.
Yes, Uncle Elwood.
Stay here, son.
Oh, I wish to leave. You want me to stay? A certain amount of conflict is good in every discussion. It means everybody's taking part, nobody's being left out. I like that. Oh, how are you getting on with Harvey, Doctor?
Oh, doctor, we're waiting for your answer.
What?
Oh, what's your decision?
Well, I must be alone with this man. Why don't you all go near the room and I'll have my diagnosis in a moment.
Oh, do hurry, Doctor.
Oh, I will.
Oh, Elwood, you stay here.
Can I give you a chair, Mr. Dillon?
No, thank you.
Can I get you a cigar? Is there anything else I can get you?
What did you have in mind?
What kind of a man are you, Mr. Dowd? Where did you come from?
Did I not give you one of my cards?
And where on the face of this tile order could you find a thing like him?
Harvey the Buka?
Is it true that he has a function that he can
Gets advance notice? I'm happy to say it is. Harvey's very versatile. Harvey can stop clocks. You've heard the expression, his face can stop a clock?
Yes, but why? To what purpose?
Well, Harvey says he can look at your clock and stop it. And then you can go away with whoever you like, for as long as you like, as far as you like. And when you get back, another minute will have ticked by.
You mean he actually...
Einstein has overcome time and space. Harvey has not only overcome time and space, but any objections.
Has he done this for you?
He offers to at any time, but I've never been able to think of any place I'd rather be. I have such a wonderful time, right where I am, whoever I'm with. I'm having a fine time right now with you, Doctor. Corona.
I know where I'd go.
Where?
I'd go to Akron.
Akron?
There's a cottage camp outside Akron, in a grove of maple trees. Cool, green, beautiful.
My favorite tree.
I'd go there with a pretty young woman, a strange woman, quiet.
Under a tree.
I wouldn't want to even know her name. I would just be Mr. Brown.
Why would you want to know her name? You might be acquainted with the same people.
I would send off a cold beer. I would talk to her. And I would tell her things that I've never told anyone, things that are wrapped up in here. And then I'd send out for more cold beer.
No whiskey?
Beer's better.
Maybe under a tree, but you might want to highball.
I would let her talk, but as I talked, I would want her to stretch out her soft white hand and stroke my forehead and say, "You poor thing! You poor thing!"
How long would you like that to go on?
2 weeks.
Does that get monotonous? Just Akron and beer and poor thing for 2 weeks? If she gets around at all, she's come across some very interesting little news items. And I'm sure you're making a mistake with all that beer and no whiskey. But it's your 2 weeks.
Beer and Akron on one last fling? God, man!
Would you like to lie down for a while?
Oh, no, Mr. Dell, sit down. Do you think, could he? Would he do that for me?
We could. And he might. I've never heard Harvey say a word against Akron. Oh, by the way, Doctor, where is Harvey?
Oh, don't you know where he is?
Last time I saw him, he was with you.
Oh.
Oh, he's probably waiting for me down at Charlie's.
That's it, he's down at Charlie's.
Thank you, Doctor.
Oh, not in there, Mr. Dell.
I couldn't leave without saying goodbye to my friend, Dr. Sanderson.
Dr. Sanderson is not your friend. None of these people are your friends. I am your friend.
Oh, thank you, Doctor, and I'm yours.
And that sister of yours, she's at the bottom of this conspiracy against you. She's trying to convince me to get you committed. She had commitment papers drawn up. She has your power of attorney, and she has the key to your safe deposit box. She brought you out
My
here.
sister did all that in one afternoon? Anita certainly is a whirlwind.
God, man, have you no righteous indignation?
Oh, Doctor. My mother used to say to me, in this world, Elwood, she always called me Elwood. She'd say, in this world, Elwood, you must be oh so smart or oh so pleasant. For years, I was smart. I recommend pleasant. You may quote.
Just the same, if I protect you, I will have her committed. Would you like me to do that?
No, I wouldn't, Doctor. Unless Vita wanted it that way. No, I think Vita would be happier with me and Harvey and Myrtle May at home. Oh, Miss Kelly. Diviner grace has never brightened this enchanting face. Hope it's fidelity. My dear, you will never look lovelier.
I'll never feel happier, Mr. Dow. I know it.
Well,
Yes, Doctor.
I wonder if I can remember any more of that poem.
Say, maybe this rabbit gig is a good one. Kelly never kissed me.
Hope it has always been my favorite poet.
Okay, pal, you're discharged. This is the way out.
take your hands off that man.
What?
Apologize to Mr. Dow.
Apologize to this guy, the guy with the rabbit?
Apologize, apologize!
I apologize. This is the door.
If I leave, I'll remember.
Mr. Dow, do women often come up to you and kiss you the way Miss Kelly did?
Every once in a while.
Yes.
And I encourage it too.
To hell with decency! I have that rabbit! Go ahead and knock.
Oh, Dr. Sanderson, I couldn't
Just a moment now. Do you agree with my diagnosis, Doctor?
Send them all in, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor. Judge Gaffney, Mrs. Simmons, will you come in for a moment, please?
Is it settled?
I concur with Dr. Sanderson.
Thank you, Doctor.
Oh, that's wonderful. What a relief.
Good boy.
Well, let's all celebrate. I have a list of new bars in the back of this book.
This injection carries a violent reaction. We can't give it to him without his consent. Do you think he'll give it to us?
Well, of course he will, if I ask him.
And give up that rabbit? I doubt it.
Don't ask him, just give it to him.
Bessie's Drive-In, Blondie's Chicken. Oh, better late than never. Oh, Benny's
Elwood.
Drive-In. We'll go to Benny's Drive-In. We should telephone ahead. How many of us will there be, Vita?
Oh, let's see, there's one.
Mr. Dow, I have a Formula 977 that will be good for you. Will you take it?
Now, Elwood, you wouldn't see this rabbit anymore.
But you'd see your responsibilities, your duties.
Doctor, if you saw this, I'm sure it's a fine thing. And if I should come across anybody who needs it, I will be glad to recommend it. As for myself, I wouldn't care for it.
Oh, hear that, Judge? Hear that, Doctor? That's what we have to put up with.
Vita, do you want me to take this?
Elwood, I'm only thinking of you. You're my brother, and I've known you for years. I would do anything for you. Now that Harvey would not do anything for you. He's making a fool of you, Elwood. Don't be a fool.
I won't.
Why, you could amount to something. You could be sitting on the Western Slope Waterboard right now if you'd only go over and ask them.
All right, Vita, if that's what you want, Harvey and I will go over and ask them tomorrow.
Tomorrow? I never want to see another tomorrow. Not if Myrtle May and I have to live in the house with that rabbit. Our friends never come to see us. We have no social life. We have no life at all. Oh, miserable. Oh, I wish I were dead. Maybe you don't care.
whatever she wants. Rita, are you sure? I'll take it. Where do I go, Doctor?
In sadness and office now.
Think about it, the old fellow, for me, won't you?
Let's take long now.
Just a few minutes. Why don't you wait out here?
Dr. Sanderson said it wouldn't be very long.
Now, Mother, don't fidget.
Oh, how can I help it?
Stunning. Mother, what do you think of a house coat out of this material for me?
Yes, dear, but let me get a good night's sleep first.
Come in. What do you want?
I'm looking for a little short. Oh, there you are. Lady, you jumped out of the cab without paying me.
Oh, yes, I forgot. How much is it?
All the way out here from town, $2.75.
$2.75. Could have sworn I brought my coin purse. Where is it? Myrtle, do you have any money?
Oh, I used the money Uncle Elwood gave me for my new hairdo for the party.
Judge, do you have $2.75 I could give this man?
Sorry, I only got a check.
We don't take checks.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, just Tommy. Tommy, would you happen to have $2.75 I could borrow to pay for this cab driver?
Don't have my wallet with me now. No time to get it. Have to get on with this injection. Sorry.
Well, I can get it for my brother, but I can't get it right now. He's going to get an injection. You'll have to wait. It won't take long.
You're going to get my money from your brother who's in there to get some of that stuff they shoot out here?
Yes, it will be but a few minutes.
Oh, lady, I want my money now.
But I said it would only be a few minutes. I want you to drive us back to town anyway.
And I said I want my money now, or I'm nosing the cab back to town, and you can wait for the bus at 6 a.m.
Well, of all the pig-headed, stubborn things
I should say so.
What is wrong with you?
Yes.
Nothing that $2.75 won't fix. You heard me, take it or leave it.
Well, I have never heard of anything so unreasonable in my life. Oh, Dr. Chumley, would you let Elwood step out for a minute? The cab driver won't wait.
Don't be too long.
Oh, Elwood, I came off without my coin purse. Give this man $2.75. But don't give him any more. He's been very rude.
How do you do? Dowd is the name. Elwood P.
Lofgren's mine, EJ.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Lofgren. This is my sister, Mrs. Simmons, my lovely little niece, Myrtle May, Judge Gaffney, Dr. Chumley.
Hi.
Have you lived around here long, Mr. Lofgren?
Yeah, lived here all my life.
Oh, and do you enjoy your work?
It's okay. I've been with Apex Cabs 15 years. My brother Joe has been driving with Brown Cabs pretty near 12.
So you drive for Apex, and your brother's been with Joe. He's been with Brown for 12 years. Isn't that interesting, Vita? Mr. Lofgren, let me give you a card.
Better get on with it, Dal.
Certainly, 1 minute. My sister and my lovely little niece live with me at this address. Won't you and your brother come and have dinner with us sometime?
Sure, love to.
When? When would you love to?
I can't come any night but Tuesday. I'm on duty all the rest of the week.
Then you must come on Tuesday. We'll expect you and be delighted to see you, won't we, Vita?
Oh, Elwood, I'm sure this man has friends of his own.
Well, you can't have too many friends, Vita.
Elwood, don't keep Dr. Chumley waiting. It's rude.
Of course. Here, keep the change. It's been a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Lofgren. I'll expect you on Tuesday with your brother. Will you excuse me now?
Sure. Sweet guy.
Certainly, but you could just as well have waited.
Oh no. Lady, I've been driving this route 15 years. I've driven them out here to get this stuff. I've driven them back after they had it. It changes them.
Well, I certainly hope so.
You ain't kidding. On the way out here, they sit back, they relax, they talk to me. Sometimes we stop and watch the sunsets and look at the birds flying. Other times we watch the birds when there ain't no birds. Look at the sunsets when it's raining. Either way, we have a swell time, and I always get a big tip. But afterwards,
Oh, afterwards? What do you mean afterwards?
Oh. They crab. They yell
yell at me to watch the brakes, watch the lights, watch the intersections. They scream at me to hurry. They got no faith in me or my buggy. Yet it's the same cab, the same driver, and we're going back over the very same roads. It's no fun and no tip.
My brother would have tipped you anyway. He's very generous. He always has been.
Not after this, lady. After this, you'll be a perfectly normal human being. You know what bastards they are. Glad I met you. Oh, wait.
Oh, Judge Gaffney. Oh, Myrtle May. Stop it. Stop it. Don't give it to him. Albert, come out of there. Stop this.
You can't do that. He's giving him the injection.
I don't want him to have it. I don't want him with that way. I don't like people like that. Judge, stop her. Mother, stop it. You just shut up. I've lived longer than you have. I remember my father. I remember your father. I remember...
What's all the commotion out here?
What's the trouble, Doc? She's sailing off again.
She wants to stop the injection.
You haven't given it to him yet, have you?
No, but we are ready. Wilson, take Mrs. Simmons away.
Oh, you leave me alone. You keep your hands off me, you white flavor.
You don't know what you want, and you don't want this rabbit either.
And what's wrong with Harvey? If Elwood and Myrtle May and I want to live with Harvey, it's nothing to you. You don't even have to come around. It's our business. Elwood! Elwood!
Oh, Mr. There. Oh, Vita's all tired out. She's done a lot today.
You have it your own way. I'm not giving up my game down at the club, no matter how big the animal is.
Come on, Elwood. Let's get out of here. I hate this place. I wish I'd never seen it.
But see here.
Oh, doctor, it's whatever Vita says.
Look at this. Isn't this funny? You must have been here all along. I gotta pay that cab driver myself. Harvey. Come on, Myrtle May. Come on, Elwood, hurry up.
Goodbye, Dr. Chumley. Goodbye, Mr. Wilson.
Come along, Elwood.
Dr. Chumley, for years I've known what my family thinks of Harvey, but I've often wondered what Harvey's family thinks of me. There you are. Doctor, do you mind? You're standing in his way. Where have you been? I've been looking all over for you.